Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Fake Fig Wrestling News, Fig Fed News, the Fake Figure Wrestling News. A little tongue-tied there today. The July 16th, 2024 edition. Let's get started. So just a recap of last week. It's been changed. Are different now. Heat will have the European Championship exclusive to the show. Thunder will have the TV title exclusive to their show. Now, that means that basically roughly every 2 or 3 weeks or so there will be a title match. Each roster still has 50 wrestlers. WWC only has a grand show once a year. Of course, NXT, ECW, and NWA still have their 20 wrestlers each and their development towards WCW and WWF brands. And as always, the lowest 15 ranked superstars will be fired from each brand and replaced with new wrestlers, and each roster will be restored to 50 after each year. So no champ has been crowned in the WWF yet. However, Raw would take place with Sylvan defeating Kevin Thorne by pinfall. Arn Anderson would defeat Jake Gemini by pinfall. Adam Cole defeats King Kong Bundy by pinfall. Steve Blackman defeats Tyler Breeze by pinfall. The main event would see Doink the Clown defeat CM Punk by countout. This came after interference from the Undisputed Era to keep CM Punk out of the tournament. Over to Heat, though, as IRS would defeat Chris Masters by pinfall with the help of $1 Million Man. The Mexicools debuted, defeating Barry Windham, Tully Blanchard, and Dean Malenko after miscommunication. And the main event would see the $1 Million Man defeat The Miz, Jimmy Snuka, Rob Conway, Jimmy Noble, and Razor Ramon by pinfall in a 6-pack challenge. Last week, Goldberg, of course, became the World Heavyweight Champion, so he's currently the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. And this week, setting up for the pay-per-view coming up, Kenny Dykstra would defeat Cedric Alexander by pinfall. Buff Bagwell's debut video hype plays again. The Nasty Boys defeat Luther Reigns and Mark Jindrak by pinfall. Brock Lesnar defeat Magnum TA. Diamond Dallas Page would go on to defeat Kurt Angle by pinfall. And Stone Cold wins a 10-man battle royal to actually become the #1 contender for the WCW Heavyweight Championship. So at the next review, it will be Stone Cold versus Goldberg for the title. Over to Thunder, though, as A-Train and LA Knight debuted to defeat Mikey and Johnny of pinfall. D'Lo Brandon Canyon went to a countout, unfortunately. And Matt Morgan defeats Tony Nese by pinfall in the main event of Thunder. NXT would hold a small show this week as the Basham Brothers would defeat Billy Kidman and Paul London by pinfall. Demolition defeats Randy Rose, Dennis Condrey, and Stevie Ray by pinfall. The main event would see Karrion Kross defeat Gorilla Monsoon by submission. ECW, though, would have a show this week. No titles, of course. The Von Erichs, Kevin, Kerry, and David would defeat Adam Rose, Mike Knox, and Arya Daivari by submission. The Steiner brothers would defeat Damien Sandow and Farouk by submission. The main event would see Sean O'Haire defeat Moose in a classic match by pinfall. No show this week for NWA. But AEW, of course, holds their weekly show as Darby Allin and Hook defeats the Young Bucks by pinfall. Hangman Adam Page gets a victory over MJF by pinfall. Brody King and Murphy defeats the Acclaim by pinfall after losing to them at the pay-per-view. And the main event was Kenny Omega defeat Malachi Black by pinfall. No show this week for Ring of Honor, nor for Impact, or AAA, or Red Impact, or even the UWF, had one small week. As Brett Armstrong defeats Al Perez by pinfall, the Midnight Express defeats the Fabulous Ones by pinfall, and the main event would be Dr. Death defeat Kevin Sullivan by pinfall. And that's all for this week. It's a short, quick week. Way less explanation this time. So stay tuned for next week as we look forward to the WCW pay-per-view coming up, the Clash of Champions, as well as the NWA having a show, AEW, of course, Ring of Honor, Impact, and AAA all having shows scheduled for next week, and possibly the debut of Buff Bagwell. Till next time.